It's just you and me here at AFSAR Law Group because you caught us after hours. I'm Amir Afsar, a California licensed attorney. We're going to talk about employment laws and how hard they are to comply with here in California and how we use the summertime to get ahead. You're watching Unbillable. Luis is easy.
I am?
Yeah, because you just get paid your salary. No action for you. Carlos fluctuates because there's... Are we back on here? Am I still talking about the employment law? You can cut it back to the front. So some employees can be paid on like a salary basis where they get the same amount of money for, periods of time, each pay period. Like here at AFSAR Law Group, we pay on the 15th and the last day of every month. So however many time, hours, days, whatever you work, if your salary, it doesn't really make a difference. You get paid the same amount for the 1st of the 15th as every 1st of the 15th. That's kind of what salary is. It's reliable, it's consistent. Hourly, on the other hand, hourly is literally, taking the time card, punching into the time clock. Carla, can you bring me your time cards? Oh, you think?
Yeah.
It's like, I got here at 7, I left here at 7:30.
Wait, I always say like 5.
Ish. 4:59. Look at that, you're out of the road. Oh, this, I'm gone now, sorry, catch me.
Wait, so what's going on here?
Oh, did you know? Did you know that we're vlogging today? I bet you didn't know that.
Oh.
Because Luis just like creeps in like a nurse in the night and just
pulls
up the camera, just like we're having this conversation. All of a sudden, he's like, "Say what's going on out loud. What's going on out loud?" I'm totaling up the time cards.
Getting paid.
Yeah, I said. There you go. Yeah, right. And because California law is frankly ridiculous, we probably could handle this much better if California law stayed out of it. But so Carla has to check in, time clock, whatever you want to call that. And she does it when she remembers, when she feels like it. So I'm trying to encourage her to kind of use it. Not because I don't trust her, but because that's the rules. Trust me, if it was up to me, I would just call it like we see it. But see, the law's not always cool like that. That's like one of those things. Anyways.
In Erica's, I think she forgot to put Wednesday. But she's gonna be here Wednesday. So she's...
Is she here Tuesday? No.
Last Tuesday? Yeah, she was.
No, not this Tuesday.
She wasn't here Thursday. This Tuesday.
Hold on.
No,
Hold on. Just stop. I hope you caught that. That's exactly what cannot happen in court. Only one person can ask the questions. So like when I say, is she coming in on Tuesday? The response can't be, well, she'll be here Thursday. That has nothing to do with the question. Is she coming in on Tuesday? I know now. No, I get it. But there you go. That's why in legal proceedings, like one person is there to answer questions and one person asks the questions. And if the person answering asks the question back, you literally say, I'm the one asking the question. Employment law rules in the state of California are some of the hardest things to comply with for anybody, for everybody, for every business. We need to do something to simplify it. And in fact, we did something recently to kind of make it more convoluted. What we did was we made it very difficult to classify someone as an independent contractor. That's probably a good topic for a future episode. But for now, just the act of time cards, lunch breaks, vacation time, it's so convoluted. The amount of disclaimers and notices that you have to post in your workplace are, in my opinion, kind of out of hand. There's a whole industry of people who just sell like the required posters based on these laws. Now, I don't make the laws. I also try my best not to break the laws. And so I do that with clients too. It's not so much that we get to decide what the rules are. It's just that once the rules are in place, it's my job, it's our job to work with compliance, because it's always less expensive to comply with the law than to get punished for not complying. Think about it this way, like even when you're running late somewhere, if you just drive the speed limit, you will get to your place and maybe be a couple minutes late. But if you speed, if you go in excess of the speed limit, not that I would ever do something like that, you could potentially and may potentially get a ticket. And if you get a ticket, not only will you be even later to what you're going because the time it takes you to pull over and have the whole interaction with the police officer, but you also have to pay the fine. And so it's just kind of like the same philosophy, if you will. It's much less expensive to comply with the law than it is to, get caught not complying with the law. Let's. All right, so that's that. And there goes the payroll. not just payroll for Carla, even though we gave it to her a few seconds ago. Payroll for the guy holding the camera. Payroll for wait, Unbillables aren't free? What the? And Erica, of course. So Erica's back, my fantastic paralegal plus, if you will. I say plus because she's got more skills than the average paralegal, in my opinion. And it's the end of July. I mean, we're coming to the close of July, so locally here, Palm Desert, California, that's where we're based. Summertime is the off season. It gets very hot here. If you don't remember my last vlog, you can check that out there. Maybe it's there, somewhere over here. And I'll be sure to, you can see how the heat affects my general desire to be an attorney. But anyways, I don't want to wear this stuff. It also affects how many people are in the town. And so there is a seasonality to the business that you wouldn't expect maybe at the typical law firm. And that's not necessarily different from our law firm to another law firm. It's more that there's seasonality where we live. With such a huge number of people leaving town for the summer, returning, let's just say when the weather gets better, winter, there's a transition of number of activities taking place. When I say activities, I mean like business activities. Let's say like real estate transactions, buying and selling. I mean, there still are deals in the summer. It's kind of a misnomer that people think that, because it's not seasonal, that all of a sudden the real estate market tanks. That's not really true. The number of sellers drops similar to the number of buyers. So it actually kind of works in concert. But going back to the whole point, there are less people, and frankly, the snowbirds, as we so delicately and warmly refer to these people who come to town and leave town, right? Those snowbirds generally, this is a second, third, fourth home for them. So they are higher net wealth individuals. They tend to be more active in the business investment community. And from those transactions, it is more common to have disputes arise. So there is a influx, an increase in work. I would just say it slows down for me in July and August. I mean, I do my best to take my vacations in July and August because those 2 months tend to be, in my experience, After Our Law Group is 11 years now that we've been in business. In my experience, those are the months. So let me make something clear. I do take my vacations in those months, but there is no real time off. When you own your own business, anybody who is an entrepreneur out there that owns their own business, I'm sure they'll agree when I say you don't really take time off. What you do is you use that time to, strengthen and revamp your business. That's what I'm doing. I always use July and August, yes, to vacation, but also to kind of take a look at my web presence and things I'm doing with my website for the business itself. And I mean, as well, Unbillable, social media, things like that. And I try to kind of fine tune them. I get ready for advertising campaigns or kind of events that I want to be involved with that happen during the season. July and August kind of become my preparation months for what I hope is then going to be a strong season. That's at least how I do it. So now that I have my awesome paralegal Erica back, it gives me an opportunity to kind of move more work, if you will, more of the research and background level of the work to her desk, so I don't have to do it all directly myself like I've been doing while she was out on medical leave. So it's definitely good to have her back. We are rocking and rolling, even though it is the end of July. Episode 99. This is a great one, like the great one, Wayne Gretzky. You got to reference. It's kind of interesting. That's a little fun fact about myself. When I was a young man, when all of my hair was black, I still had a little bit of facial hair, but it was all black, not the salt and a little pepper here and there that you see today. This is very high sodium goatee, in my opinion, if you will. And so, but back when I was young, number one, we used to always reference like ages as being a specific player birthday, like so 32. When Magic Johnson was my favorite basketball player when I was young, so 32 would be your Magic Johnson birthday, right? Or like 23 was your Michael Jordan birthday. Everything was like the birthday of the famous athlete that wore the number. If you're out there and you're young and you're like, I don't know what I want to do with my life. There was a guy in my class this last quarter that literally I asked everybody like, what do you want to do with your career? Like, why are you here in college? What is it your goal? And he said he didn't know. He had no idea. That's totally okay. Like, that's totally fine. You have a much longer life than you realize ahead of you. When I say when you realize, like, you might say, like, I'm going to live to be 80 like my dad. Okay, fine. But you don't even understand when you're, like, let's say 20, 25, how long that really is. It's a long time. It's a long time. Like, I'm 41. And I'm still feeling like I'm not that different than I was, like, back in law school, which was, what, years ago, right? 15 years ago? It's July 29th. This is the 15th anniversary of me passing the bar on the first try. And the next episode of Unbillable, we're going to talk about what it took and how I went about practicing, studying, and getting ready for the bar exam. So we hope you'll stay tuned for that. But before you can do that, you got to watch an old episode of Unbillable, and you can do that by clicking this link right here. And we hope you'll do that, and we hope you'll see us there and in the future and in the past and everywhere in between. We appreciate you for watching Unbillable. Thanks. Did it not move? It stuck on me. Oh, I didn't know it stuck on me too. The camera finally loves me.